actions treat. And it's interesting because it's a time away from life. All right. It's a time to for self-care and
Yeah,
someone to say no and growth.
for sure. Absolutely. I mean, there's so many reasons to go away, and people say, "Well, why do I don't who's going to watch my kids? Like I have kids at home. Who's going to take care of those responsibilities?" And if you're in a partnership or you have a spouse or even surrounding friends or family, if you reach out to them, you can find a way to make it happen. I've had friends and that have come to my retreat. I've had attendees that have come and they're like, "You know what? My best friend's watching my kids because last time she went on a little vacation away with her spouse, I took care of her kids." So they did like a kid swap kind of thing, right? If you really want to go, there's ways to make it happen. You just have to ask because oftentimes we're afraid to ask because we're people pleasers, right? We don't want to ask for help because I'm supposed to help everybody else. But when you take time for yourself and invest in yourself, then you can come back from this amazing retreat where you've had 4 days with some amazing women and you've had time to pour into yourself. You get the opportunity to come back fully 100% showing up the way you want to be for your family.
100%, yes, and that's so important. And there's a bunch of objections, right?
Yes.
And then you start having these questions saying, "Hey, are you going to attend my retreat?" What are the things you're hearing, first of all?
Yeah. Another one is, well, do I have to share a bed with somebody? Because at our retreat, one of the things that's very unique with us is that you may or may not share a room or a bed. And what I always say is, listen, I have gone, I'm sure like you, Neil, you've gone to many conventions where maybe you've had to share a room, with somebody. And us as females, we're a little different than most men. We don't oftentimes mind sharing a bed with somebody. In fact, most of my friends, they fight to share a bed with me when I go on conventions because I don't move. I sleep all night and don't move. But I tell everybody, listen, I have met some of my best friends showing up at an event and just being present and sharing a room with somebody because at nighttime, you open up and you share what you've learned, what's been poured into you for the day, and you get to know somebody on a more intimate level. That when you leave, you create these amazing bonds and you have what I call your PJ sister for life.
And that's important, right? This is something that women lose later on in their lives, to have those connections with women.
Oh, for sure. It's so important because, life gets busy and sometimes we just need somebody to bounce an idea off of or you're in a situation you just want to be, my feelings, am I being over dramatic or is it real? Like you get to have that opportunity to have that sister time. And I mean, life gets busy for us, especially if you're raising kids or you're working a job that's demanding, you get so busy doing that all day long and then when you get a chance to stop and have some time with a fellow PJ sister, I call them, you actually get to reconnect and you get that you kind of go back to the retreat and remind yourself why you were at the retreat. Because like you said, when our kids are flown and grown and it's just you and your spouse or partner or you in that demanding job, you want to have somebody that you can connect with and be like, can I go have a glass of wine with you? Like, what's happening? Let's go to the beach. I just got back from a 3-day trip to the beach with some friends. We took some time away. I did a little work while I was there, but I had time away with some amazing ladies.
What are other things saying I can't do it?
Other things, money. Everybody says, I can't afford to invest in myself. Well, if you're going to Starbucks every day, that $3 a day, and actually, I think it's more like $5 a day, Starbucks, if you gave that up for a little bit, that's one way to help pay for the retreat. Maybe there's something you're spending money on that are you going to the gym and you're not showing up at the gym? Maybe you get rid of the gym membership for a little bit to invest in yourself a different way. We have payment plan options that go anywhere from 3 months to almost a year in opportunities. So we make it reasonable for you to find a way to get to the retreat.
That's so important because it's like, if you invest in yourself, you've talked about the stories last week. They're unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, and the thing that's really amazing is when you leave the retreat, the transformation that you have, it's so like for me, self-filling because even me who puts the retreat on, there's a lot of work that goes into the retreat, but even I leave fulfilled going, wow, I forgot that I was lacking in this area. I forgot that I was slipping back into my people pleaser time. I forgot that I wanted to be controlling every situation and that I can't always control every situation. So it's a way to like really walk away and have some time and pour into yourself, as I was saying, because when you do that, you know, you start accomplishing the things that maybe you've put on a shelf. I know we talked about this before. When you start to do things for yourself, you not only show up for your friends and family, but you start showing up for yourself. So you start doing the things, making time for yourself. You leave the retreat with the opportunity to understand time management, like tiny habits to create so that you remember to stop and journal. You remember to sit on a front porch and just take some time for yourself. Go for out for a walk with nature. Your soul will be fulfilled so that you have tips and tricks and tools that when you come home, you can still do the things you learn at the retreat.
Oh, it's yeah, most definitely. And we've talked about all these different things. What are the pluses? We've just talked about the objections. What things now that they say, okay, I've gone to retreat, and this is when you hear the feedback afterwards.
Yeah, the pluses are I feel like I have a voice. I feel like I've come home and I've learned how to communicate my realistic expectations of what I want in my life. They feel like they have a way of communicating differently than they were before, and they feel like their voice is being heard. That's definitely one thing. I think the other thing is they realize I'm not selfish, that taking time for myself is so important because I am like Pearl, like we just say, and like Pearl shares at the retreat, that I am important and I have to take care of me first because house is not gonna fall down if you're sitting outside on your front porch or you're going for a walk or you're in a bubble bath. Everybody will be fine. And then if not, they'll come get you, right? So those are two of the things. The other thing is like making those transformations. Like we do something really cool at the retreat. I won't give it away, but we had this huge transformation. And when the other ladies see that one person who was picked out of the group had this amazing transformation, I can tell you it's sort of like going to the Today Show and getting picked out of an audience. I'll give you a little hint. When they see that transformation physically in front of them, they walk away going, man, if they could do that for her, I can make time for me so that I am looking great. I'm from the outside and inside. And they start understanding that it's okay to say no to others and yes to themselves.
All right. Now we can the date again for the retreat and where people can sign up.
Absolutely. So September 12th to September 16th, we are in the Gulf Shores of Alabama. Everything is included when you sign up. So you're going to get the retreat, you're going to get everything but your transformation, your food, your head in a bed, and you're going to get a 10-week course with me and all kinds of other great bonuses. And the way you go find it is you go to wslivingretreats.com. That's wslivingretreats.com and grab your spot today because you need to be there.
All right. Thanks again, Pearl. Appreciate it. You're listening and watching the Neil Haley Show. We'll